Decoding a cat's body language can be tricky. Cats have often been seen as hard to read and independent. But if you really want your cat to trust you, it's important to understand what they're trying to tell you without words. In this video, we'll walk you through the key signs of your cat's body language and what they mean. We will also be sharing one simple yet powerful tip on how to easily gain your cat's unconditional trust. Number 1. Tail. A cat's tail contains between 13 to 23 bones. These bones are the reason why a cat's tail is so flexible. A tail held high in the air is a positive sign. When a cat walks with its tail up, it usually means they're feeling confident and comfortable in their environment. Sometimes you might see just the end of your cat's tail twitching. This can be a sign of curiosity. However, if the entire tail starts to whip or thrash around, it might be an indicator that the cat is very agitated or irritated. If a cat wraps its tail around its body, it could be a sign that they're feeling a bit insecure or cautious. On the flip side, when a cat wraps its tail around another cat or even a human, it's a sign of affection, similar to how we might put an arm around a friend. A tail that's held low and close to the ground, or tucked between the legs, can indicate fear or submission. If you see your cat with its tail down, it's good to ensure there are no threats or anything stressing them out. Number 2. Eyes. Here's an interesting fact: cats have a third eyelid called a nictitating membrane. It helps protect their eyes and keep them moist. You might catch a glimpse of it when your cat is sleepy. Just like humans, a cat's pupils will naturally dilate in dim lighting to allow in more light and help them see better. But if your cat is in a well-lit room and their pupils suddenly dilate, it could mean they're excited or playful. It's their body's way of taking in more visual information quickly, especially if they're chasing a toy or a playful companion. Dilated pupils can also be a sign of surprise or fear. When startled or threatened, a cat's pupils will dilate, helping them take in as much visual information as possible to assess the situation. When a cat's pupils narrow or constrict, it can indicate a few different moods or reactions. Naturally, in bright conditions, a cat's pupils will constrict to limit the amount of light entering the eye, protecting sensitive retinas and helping them focus. However, if the light level is consistent and your cat's pupils suddenly become slits, it might be indicating tension or aggression. A cat that's feeling confrontational or territorial will often constrict its pupils, perhaps to focus intently on a perceived threat or rival. Sometimes, a relaxed cat lounging in its favorite spot might also have constricted pupils. In the absence of any threat or bright light, this can simply be a sign that your cat is calm and content. Cats rarely maintain prolonged staring. If a cat is staring intently at something or someone, it's usually because they're very focused, possibly on prey, or something that's grabbed their attention. However, a prolonged stare at another cat or at a human is a sign of confrontation. A slow blink from a cat towards you, often dubbed the cat kiss, is a gesture of trust and affection. When they blink slowly at you, they're communicating comfort and possibly even love. The next time you're sitting with your cat, try slow blinking at them. If they return the gesture, it's a wonderful sign of trust. If they don't, just keep spending quality time together, and they might start responding over time. Number 3. The language of ears. Cats have over 30 muscles in each ear. This allows them to rotate them independently a full 180 degrees and move them up and down. When a cat's ears are pointed forward, this means they are attentive and interested in what's going on. Maybe they've heard a sound, seen something move, or are just intently observing their environment. If you notice a cat's ears are lying flat against their head, it's a clear signal they're feeling threatened or annoyed. It's a protective move, making their ears less of a target during fights, and it's also a sign that it might be best to give them some space. Ears that turn to the side can indicate that a cat is feeling nervous or slightly agitated. It's a middle ground between the relaxed forward position and the defensive flattened position. Cats can move their ears in different directions to hone in on sounds from various angles. If you see a cat's ears swiveling often, it's likely they're trying to pinpoint the source of a sound or they're on high alert. When interacting with a cat, especially one you're not familiar with, watching the ears can provide cues on how to proceed. If their ears are forward, they're likely open to interaction. If they're flattened, it's best to be cautious and give them room. Number 4. Whiskers. Whiskers can detect even the tiniest changes in air currents. This ability aids cats in navigating around obstacles, especially in low light. When you see a cat's whiskers pointed forward, it's an indication that they're very interested in something. It could be a toy, some food, or maybe they're in hunting mode and have spotted prey. Whiskers that are pulled back tightly against the face usually signal that a cat is scared or feels threatened. It's their way of protecting these sensitive tools and also making their face more streamlined in case they need to flee. If a cat's whiskers are spread out and pointing sideways, it indicates a relaxed and neutral state. The cat is neither threatened nor overly excited. Just like hair, cats occasionally shed their whiskers. It's natural and is usually no cause for concern. However, if you notice multiple whiskers falling out in a short period, it might be good to consult a vet. Whiskers are incredibly sensitive. That's why it's essential to be gentle when touching a cat's face. Avoid tugging or playing with their whiskers, as it can cause them discomfort. Also, ensure their food and water dishes are wide enough so that their whiskers don't touch the sides, preventing whisker fatigue during meal times. Number 5. Body. Cats have a unique righting reflex, which means from a very young age, as early as 3 weeks old, they start learning to twist their bodies to land on their feet if they fall. By the time they're 7 weeks old, they've usually mastered this skill. You've probably seen a cat arch its back, especially during playful or startled moments. When a cat does this, it's trying to make itself appear bigger. This can be a defensive posture, indicating the cat feels threatened and is ready to defend itself if necessary. One of the ultimate signs of trust from a cat is when it rolls over and shows you its belly. However, this vulnerable position doesn't always mean they want a belly rub. It's just their way of saying they feel safe around you. Some cats might enjoy belly rubs in this position, while others might become defensive if you try. Cats sometimes knead against a soft surface, like a blanket or your lap. This kneading action is often a comforting behavior that originates from kittenhood when they used to knead their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. If a cat is crouching low to the ground with its body tense, it could be a sign of fear or that it's preparing to pounce, whether on prey or a toy. And here is a simple trick you can do to make your cat trust you. It's called a scent swap. In the wild, cats rub their faces against members of their group, transferring their scent and cementing social bonds. When you gently rub a cloth on your cat, especially around their cheeks, you're collecting pheromones that they use to mark territory and trusted friends. By placing this cloth on yourself, you're essentially allowing the cat to mark you without them even realizing. Additionally, if you rub your scent onto them, you're reciprocating the gesture, making it a two-way exchange. When doing this, observe your cat's ears and eyes. If their ears are forward and their eyes are soft, it means they're comfortable with the process. However, if their ears flatten and the pupils dilate, it indicates discomfort, and it might be good to try again later when they're more relaxed. How can you tell if your cat truly loves you and not just tolerates your presence for food? Check out this video, where we talk about 10 hidden things cats do when they truly love you. And be sure to subscribe to our channel and join our feline loving community.